So next, we're going to dive into the product detail. So construction, overlays, wood species, and all of our different finishes. So to start, our Evoke line is offered in furniture board as standard, or you can choose plywood, which is available for a 15% upcharge. So you do have two options available for the construction material of the cabinet. You also have two interior options available for painted cabinets. So these are for painted cabinets only. This isn't available if you're doing a stain. But we do have the maple print interior, and then also you have your choice of the white print interior. They're the same cost, so the white does not cost any additional money, and they are both available on the plywood or furniture board, depending on what you've selected. But keep in mind, painted cabinets only. So the craftwood, MDF paint, or paint grade are your only options for the white. The Evoke line is one of our framed cabinet lines that we carry. So you can order these cabinets up to 120 inches tall. And it does have the normal 4.5-inch toe space. Both our wall and base cabinets are constructed with 1/2-inch either furniture board or plywood, depending on what you've selected, including the back. I have a lot of people ask, is the back 1/2 inch as well, or is it a 1/4 inch? The back is 1/2 inch as well. And then you'll have a 1.5 by 3/4 inch thick face frame all the way around. Most of the cabinet is dadoed together and then glued and mechanically fastened for superior construction. And then you will notice that our base cabinets and vanity cabinets are constructed with 3-inch wide I-beams at the tops. And then all of our interior shelves are fully adjustable unless otherwise noted. We also have two options for your drawer boxes. We have a good and a best. So the good is what we have as standard. This is going to be a 5/8 birch hardwood. It is dovetail construction, but the dovetails are not sanded or finished. And then it comes in 4 standard heights. We have 2.5-inch for the pullouts, 4-inch on all standard top drawers, 6-inch bottom drawers on a D4 cabinet, and then 8-inch bottom drawers on a D3 cabinet. And the maximum depth on the birch is 21 inches. And then you have your choice to upgrade to the beech drawer box, which we consider our best option. So this is going to be a 5/8 beech hardwood. It's still going to be dovetail construction, but the biggest difference here is that the dovetails are sanded and finished with the beech. And then the beech has just more sizes available. So it does have larger sizes for the drawers, and it has a maximum depth of 30-inch for special requests only. The doors and drawers in the Evoke line also come standard with soft close. So it's all soft close doors and drawers, and that is a standard feature. For the drawers, we do use the Tandem Blue Motion full extension drawer guides. And then we also offer custom engraved logos. As you can see here in this picture, this is a great way to make your cabinets feel more personal just by adding your company logo. The logo will go in all top 4-inch drawer boxes. I think there's just a one-time setup fee of, I believe, $70. That's retail or list price. And then there's just a small fee per order if you choose to select that option. If you decide you don't want your custom logo, that is completely fine. Just know that your drawers will come blank. They do not come standard with the R.D. Henry logo. I also have a lot of questions. People say, can we have, instead of our company logo, can we have the R.D. Henry logo? Absolutely. If you want the logo to say R.D. Henry instead of your company logo, that's fine, but you do still have to pay for it. It doesn't come standard. So I like to point that out as well. And then we do have two different overlay options. We have our designer overlay and our concealed overlay. Our concealed overlay is our term for what the industry would call standard overlay or partial overlay. So this will have a 1-inch reveal on the sides, a 1 1/8 inch reveal on the top and bottom, and then an 1/8 inch in between butt doors. And then on the base cabinets, you'll have a 3/4 inch reveal in between drawers in a drawer stack or a drawer and door in a combination cabinet. Obviously, a nice thing about designing with concealed overlay is that you don't have to worry as much about fillers and clearances just because you have that extra room around the face frame. But obviously, there will be certain instances where you will need them. And then we have our designer overlay. Again, our term for what the industry would call full overlay. So this is a 1 5/16 overlay, leaving 3/16 reveal on both sides of the cabinet, a 1/4 inch at the top and bottom of base cabinets, and then again, a 1/8 inch in between all of the doors. The only difference between the base and the wall and tall cabinets is that the wall and tall cabinets will either have a 1/4 inch or a 3/4 inch reveal at the top, depending on what you decide. So you have two choices for your top reveal, a 1/4 or 3/4, and you'll select that in the order program. Something very important to remember when designing with full overlay is making sure you have the appropriate fillers where you need them. I feel like that's one of the biggest mistakes we make as designers is not giving enough space between adjacent cabinets or walls for those doors and drawers to open and function properly. So always double check that, keep a lookout, and make sure you have fillers where needed. So next is our wood species. So we have 9 different species. We have alder and knotty alder, beech and rustic beech, cherry, hickory, maple, oak, and quartersawn oak. Um, each species is broken down into 3 different price groups. We do have several options that are available in all 3 groups. As you can see, alder, you can get in price group 1, 2, or 3. So a lot of them are available in all 3 groups. Um, and that is how our Evoke line is priced. It's priced in what we call bucket pricing. So there's 3 buckets to choose from, 1, 2, and 3. Bucket 1 being the least, bucket 3 being the most. There is a 7% difference in price between the 3 buckets. So again, that is how you will determine the cost of your order. You will figure out there's 2 items that you'll need to know, and that is your door profile and your wood species. So you'll go to the page in the spec book, you'll find your door profile that you're using, and then down below it, you'll find which wood species you're using, and that will tell you what price bucket that order will fall into. And I'll explain a little bit more on that here in just a second. And then we have 3 options for painted wood species. We have our craft wood, MDF paint, and paint grade, and I'm going to explain the difference with all 3. So first is our craft wood, and this is available in a 1-piece MDF door, and this is for solid paints only. You can add a glaze if you want, but there is no aging or distressing allowed with this wood. This is going to be the option that'll be the most stable, making it the safest choice for painted cabinets in areas where the humidity and temperature might fluctuate, just because it is less likely to expand and contract, showing those seams. The downside is that it is only available in 10 door styles now. I should change that, but there's only 10 door styles available. So a little bit less option there, but it's a great wood species that holds up really well. So that is our craft wood. And next is our MDF paint. And this is going to be a combination door. So it's going to feature solid wood rails and stiles with an MDF center panel. The rails and stiles are maple. And again, this is for solid paints only. So you can add a glaze, just no aging or distressing is allowed with this wood species. This is probably, MDF paint's probably what you'll use, I'd say 90% of the time when you're ordering painted cabinets. Again, that MDF center panel with the solid wood rails and stiles helps to avoid the cracks from expansion and contraction. And then finally, we have our paint grade. So this is going to be a 5-piece solid wood door. It is maple, and this is not available for solid paints. So if you are going to use this wood species, you do need to have some type of aging or distressing in your finish. We do not offer a solid paint on a solid wood door. It is just not something that we offer for warranty issues, or for warranty reasons, I should say. But you can use the paint grade with paint. You just have to have some form of aging and distressing added to your finish. And then you do have your choice of 60 different door styles in Evoke. And they are broken down, like I mentioned before, into those 3 price groups. So we have 22 doors in bucket 1, 22 doors in bucket 2, and 16 doors in bucket 3. So a large variety of doors here. We have raised panel, flat panel, arch top doors. We have a few grooved panel doors. So various options there. And that is one of the items that will determine your price bucket. So remember your door style and your wood species, those 2 items determine your price. And then with those doors, you have your choice of 10 different edge options. So kind of like an a la carte method, you'll select your door, and then depending on what edge options are available for that door, you will select your edge. Most of these edges are available for all of the doors, but there are a few doors that have some restrictions on the edges that are available. And the spec book is really good about explaining that, and showing you what is available. Next are our drawer fronts. So all of our doors will have at least one matching 5-piece drawer front, and some of them have more than one option. We also have some 3-piece drawer front options as well, which I have a lot of great feedback on. And this is something that our drawer fronts are something we've recently changed how they function, and how they're managed. So now you can change the drawer front as a global header instead of manually entering it as a modification on each cabinet. So we do have 3 options for this. Well, 4 technically, depending on what you decide. You can still choose to have all slab drawer fronts. You can also choose to have all 5-piece matching drawer fronts. If you choose the 5-piece option, then you have 3 other options available. You can have your top drawer slab, so you can add the modification in the global header, top drawer slab. That will make all top drawers have a slab front instead of a 5-piece front. If you are selecting a raised panel door, you can choose to do small front flat panel. That will make any small drawer front have a flat panel instead of a raised panel. And this just gives you more room for cabinet hardware. And then if you're doing a flat panel door, you can select the small front narrow rail, and that will make any small drawer front have a narrow top and bottom rail, again, to give you more room for your cabinet hardware. So a lot of different options here for your drawer front styles, and they are all the same price. So it doesn't matter which one you select, it's not going to be any additional money. This is a page out of our spec book. Um, Again, pretty simple, but I just like to show this to people. So it's going to tell you the name of the door. It's going to have a colored picture of the door, which is I used to love because it's a much better representation of what the door looks like than a black and white picture like this. And then below that is a cut view. So if you were to slice this door in half, that is what all of the profiles and everything look like on that door. Off to the right is going to be your drawer front options. So these are going to tell you what drawer fronts are available for that door. And then below that is the edge profile. So like I just mentioned, you'll go to the door page in the spec book, and then these are all of the edge options that are available for that door. I've had several designers say, well, what if we don't know what edge option we want? Do you guys have a standard? We do. We have picked standard edges for each door, and you'll notice that they are marked with this little 4 diamond. So if you don't know what to select, we do have a standard edge selected for each door. Below that is specifications, restrictions, and additional notes. So door style and rail sizes, door minimums, drawer minimums, any additional notes we think you might need to know when using that door in an order. And then, like I said, below the door, you'll find your price groups or your price buckets, and that is how you will determine your price bucket. So if you were using the Hampton Narrow door for an order and you're going to order it on MDF paint, you know you'll be in price bucket 1. If they changed and they want to do Naughty Alder now, you know you'll be in price bucket 2. So that's how that works. And then at the very bottom is your decorative options. So your colonial and prairie mullion inserts and glass doors, how much they are, and if they're applicable to that door. So I talked a little bit about this earlier, but one of the things that really sets us apart in the industry is our unsurpassed finish. And we have several collections that offer a variety of colors. So first is our Modern Classics collection. This collection has 27 stains offered on a variety of wood species, which ends up being 151 different combinations to choose from. Another thing that I love about our Modern Classics collection is that all of these stains are offered for 0% upcharge. So all of these are no additional finish upcharge. They're all 0. Again, depending on the wood species that you've selected or your door profile, that might affect your pricing. But all of these finishes are no additional cost. Next, we have our fabulous paints collection. So this is going to be 25 of our standard paint colors. All of these paints are just a 10% finish upcharge. Again, always keep a lookout for those paint promotions. We do run that paint promotion several times throughout the year. And basically, when we are running that promotion, all of these standard paints are 0% finish upcharge instead of 10. So always keep a lookout for those. If we're running that promotion, make sure you put that promo code in the order program. We also have a complex expressions collection. So this is going to be 59 of our packaged finishes. So these are pre-packaged. We have put them together based on what we think works and looks good. All of the packaged finishes either have applied glazing or maybe aging and distressing added to them. And they range anywhere from 5% to 80% finish upcharge. So always keep a lookout for that when you're looking at complex expressions. Make sure you're looking at what the finish upcharge is if you're working with a customer. Only one of these is 80%, so don't let that scare you. Most of them are going to be in the 15 to 40% range, but there are a few that are up there. And then you can modify these complex expressions. So you can modify your package. For instance, this right here is Ghost Ranch on Alder. That is a color that I used to order all the time. It does come standard with some aging and distressing on it. because we were ordering all because all the homes that I was working on were very modern, people loved the color, but didn't want the aging or distressing. They just wanted the finish. So when I say you can modify it, I used to order this Ghost Ranch on Alder. I used to hit modify package finish, and then I could remove all of the aging and distressing from the package and just order the color. It doesn't alter the price by removing the distressing because it still is a very complex finish, but you can modify it so you get exactly what you're wanting. And then if you find that no paints in those collections fit your needs, we always have our paint match program. It is one of the most inexpensive paint match programs in our industry. There's just a $25 match fee and then a 15% finish upcharge once matched and ordered. We match a wide variety of fan decks from Sherwin-Williams, Benjamin Moore, Behr, Valspar, Faro and Ball. You name it, we will match it. This is a great way to make any area of the house feel more personal and really be able to get that perfect color that you're wanting. Um, this was one of my favorite things when I was ordering from R.D. Henry because not only is it inexpensive, but like I mentioned before, when you have those samples, so you order a sample of your paint match, that sample is now good for 2 years. So I had 7 or 10 Sherwin-Williams and Benjamin Moore paint matches in my showroom, and I could use all of those for 2 years while the sample was current anytime that I wanted to. I just took the serial number off of it and used it. The perfect example is this bathroom right here. This was Benjamin Moore Hale Navy, and I think I ordered that on every other order for about 5 years. I mean, it was very popular. They wanted it for their kids' bath or a powder bath or their island somewhere in the house. Um, and I wasn't constantly ordering a paint match. I had it right there ready to go. So again, the only difference is you're going to pay a 15% upcharge instead of a 10%, which is a standard paint. So there is a 5% difference there. However, when we run those paint promotions, um, we usually make our paint match 10 instead of 15. So keep that in mind as well. But great option there for that paint match program. And it does not affect your lead time either. So it doesn't increase lead time. Lead times stay the same. It's just a different finish. And then last is our glaze and aging techniques. So we do offer 4 glaze colors. We have Midnight Frost, Pewter, Van Dyke Brown, and Burgundy. And those can be applied in 2 different applications, a standard wiped glaze or a brushed glaze. The wiped glaze is applied to the entire surface of the cabinet and doors and then wiped off, leaving hang up in the recessed areas. This technique is a 5% finish upcharge. And then we have our brushed glazes, which is a special technique that leaves brush strokes over the entire surface and it makes the finish slightly darker. And the brushed glazes are a 40% finish upcharge when applied. The glazes do go on the front and all sides of the door. They do not get applied to the back. So when you open the door, the back will be that base color. Everything else will have the glaze applied. And then we also offer 11 different aging and distressing techniques. You can see those all here on the screen. You can order up to 2 aging and distressing techniques for 5% upcharge, and then 3 or more will be a 10% upcharge. The only one that is going to be an additional 10% if selected is the fly specking. So keep that in mind. If you choose fly specking, it will be an additional 10% on top of what you've already selected. A final glaze or top coat completes all of our finishes. And then also, I like to point out that all of our glazing, aging, and distressing is done by hand in our facility. There's a section back in the plant where there's a group of people and they're doing all of this by hand. So no two doors or cabinets will look the same, and that's how we justify our finish up charges as well. So that is it for product detail, and the